Hello everybody who have taken the time to join us today. Really happy to see you here in order to know more about this course that we are offering. I am Suruchi. I'm a head of legal services with Ungender, and I primarily advise on posh laws as well as gender-centric labor laws in a company. And we do all posh advisory. So this course has been formulated in order to also enable participants like you who plan to take up this course to become posh practitioners. And we've got like a slide deck for you to understand a bit more about who is it for, what this course is all about, what would be like the module system, how would you be accessing all the data that we have prepared for you. So we put in a lot of thought process into it. We've gathered all our industry knowledge and all the practical knowledge which we have also amassed so far, as well as applying the principles of the law which have been interpreted over time and understood by the courts. So we would like to share this industry knowledge with you as well, and which is why we designed this course. And we would like you to benefit out of this knowledge when you would like to take this up. So so we are starting with the slide screen. And Pallavi, do you want to take it?
No, I think you have done.
No, why don't you try? Why don't you introduce yourself also? People would like to know, both of us.
I think pretty much the name of the organization speaks for itself when we talk, when we say Ungender, an organization devoted towards bringing gender neutrality while it is required in each and every sphere of our lives. What our focus has been on is primary workplaces, and in our aim and intention to work towards building gender neutral and gender inclusive workplaces of today's and tomorrow. We focus on advocacy work with the government organization. We do advisory work with private institutions, and then we do education and capacity building work to make sure that there are enough experts out there who can guide organizations and their leaders as and where on location, on ground, to provide the assistance and guidance which is required. An extension of the same initiative is the certificate program, which was conceived and started in its first version some 5 years ago. And initially, it was looked at as creating the industry of practitioners when it comes to POSH, prevention of sexual harassment advisory. But eventually, it has evolved to focus not just on POSH and women as target audience, but as you can see on the screen also, and as we have as part of our internal philosophy, we're focusing on gender safety also, which means that when we talk about prevention from any form of sexual harassment and any form of gender discrimination, we are looking at gender as an inclusive entity and not just one single gender in isolation. So once again, thank you everyone for joining us for this session. We have put together some of the questions that we keep receiving as we talk to people on, in an individual capacity. And we realized that we should actually conduct a consultative session together with everybody whosoever is interested in knowing more about this program. So while I'm sure a lot of you might have other questions, let's just go through the ones that we already have. Let us provide you answers on the same. And any additional questions, we'll be very happy to take it at the end of the session. Yes, Rishi? Yeah?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Great then. So
definitely the first aspect of this entire executive course is what everybody wonders is whether this course is for them, what will help them by doing this course. So if you are a part of a company, in the legal department or in the HR department, who anyways needs the knowledge of all laws, all compliance which are applicable to an establishment, this course helps you in understanding that. as well as if you are today itself an IC member, already a part of your internal committee, or you are an external member, you are an NGO member who needs to know this information regarding compliance in order to benefit, the entire panel, as well as yourself, in understanding this law if you become a member tomorrow as well. So this program has been designed in such a manner to benefit all these people, HR professionals, legal professionals, IC members, external members, NGO members, in understanding what this law is all about and how to implement and apply the law in a proper manner. Because we've seen that a lot of times, posh practitioners also, for that instance, they do not know certain nuances of the law, and they do not know certain a certain complaint procedure, how does it flow. They do not know whether the concept, certain concepts, workplace or sexual harassment have been, they have evolved over the period of time since 2013, since the time this act came about. So this program helps you understand and perfect and hone your knowledge. So if definitely if you are one of these professionals, this will benefit you to the maximum. Pallavi, any thoughts on that, or
Yeah, Suruchi, I think we should take questions as we go around. So,
yeah, I
anybody has
think that'll
any
be good.
question right now with respect to the applicability of this program for them?
There's also a raise hand option if you would like to, or you would also like to put in your questions in the chat box, then we'll be happy to take that up.
Okay, I think as and when
Yeah.
come, we will know.
Yes.
So moving on.
So the scope of subjects covered in this program basically cover the entire A to Z of this law. How did this law come about? Basically from the international framework itself to the guidelines which were given by the Supreme Court in Vishaka versus State of Rajasthan. The law covers from the aspect of its, the inception of this law, as well as going forward. It talks about all the things which are covered under this law is what are these concepts, what are the concept of sexual harassment, how wide is that term, what is workplace, who can file a complaint. These concepts are analyzed. If a complaint does go, who does it go to? The complaint can go to the internal committee, the complaint can go to a local committee. The law, the program talks about in detail about these authorities under the, the law which are covered, as well as goes up to the duties and obligations of the employer. What are they supposed to do, what are they not supposed to do, how does a complaint get filed, what happens when a complaint get filed, what is the investigation procedure, the do's and don'ts of an investigation procedure, and then culminating into when a complaint is finally over, can we also have like, how do we format, how do we draft formats of reports, how do we have any policies. So all of these aspects of the law will be covered in this program, and we will be preparing modules on each and every subject.
Yes, and in addition to that, Suruchi, if I may,
yes, please.
In addition to this, we are also complementing it with the latest laws, latest legal developments,
yes.
Judgments, which keep coming up because law is written once, and we keep getting clarification on what they actually mean or how it actually is supposed to be read, implemented in real life in different practical scenarios through these legal developments, which come in the form
Absolutely.
of judgments. Right, and interpreting them, understanding why certain decisions are taken, plays a very important role in advising companies or even internally as part of a company while we are implementing these laws on the ground. From how ICs should actually be formed to how the quorum should be in a committee during an investigation, to how you should actually go about principles of natural justice. One thing is to read it as a concept, and the second thing is to actually know about them in detail based on certain judgments that have come out, which are a direct reflection of how laws are implemented and should be treated in real life scenario. So that's the length and breadth of the scope of subjects which are covered in the program. And as we mentioned about gender safety at workplace, Ruchi, would you like to add on the transgender persons?
Absolutely. So, The Transgender Act also provides protection to transgender employees who are employed with an organization to protect them from discrimination, as well as, any harassment which may also come at a workplace. So the act, as of now, it provides for a complaints officer. However, it does not tell, or it does not clarify who this complaints officer is. So generally, if these transgender persons, identify themselves as women, our advice has always been to our clients and cover them under the IC provisions. If they suffer through harassment, then they should be allowed to go and file their complaint with the IC itself, and the presiding officer could equate itself as a complaint officer under the law. This is where, the aspirational stand takes place, where all our employees are protected, or, irrespective of their gender, they would be protected under the law. And this is why we are calling it also a gender safety, because a transgender employee should not suffer any setback just because an IC is there, but it does not know whether it has to cover a transgender employee's complaint or not. Which is why this whole program will be, while it will also provide what the law speaks about, it will also take a step forward and tell you what are the good practices in case of an IC professional, getting such complaints as well. So this is where, this program will help everybody.
Great. Thanks for adding that bit. Very important, because gender inclusion is something which is an aspirational thing. And in the absence of specific guidelines, at least as long as nothing is prohibiting us, we can go about and incorporate these as part of best practices. So any question from any of the audience at this point in time? Any other subject, or any doubt with respect to whether something will be covered under this or not? Please feel free to ask. We are moving on, but you're free to type your questions on the chat, and you can always ask these questions at the end of the session also. So the teaching methodology, we have actually from the beginning kept this program completely online, and also making sure that the profile of the individuals who will be or who have taken the program in the past also are all working professionals. And keeping that in mind, we cannot schedule set timings for classes. We also do not want you to think that you have to come to a certain place to give the exams, or for any of the city activities also. So the program is completely online. When you enroll in the program, you will have access to the learning management system. You will be receiving a login name and password. Every week, based on the number of modules which you would have seen in the course syllabus also, program syllabus, every week there will be new content which will be opening on the learning management system, which you're free to go through and read through as per your convenience and the time that suits you. We understand that while there is text and video based content which will be available on the system, in addition to that, we also will be including practice test questions for every module and every content that you will be reading and learning. In addition to that, there will be case studies which will be given, and every Saturday there will be a 2-hour session which will be scheduled for everyone who is part of the program for doubt clarification and also updates on, let's say, that week any recent or new update that came in. As part of the practitioners base ourselves, we also keep receiving and keep learning new things from our own practical experience. So the Saturday's 2-hour session is kept for doubt clarification as well as discussions on any new thing which are on any new activity or incident that has happened, to make sure that your learning is up to date and apprised with the practical aspects also.
Pallavi, I just had a question. So these assessments, they come after the course is over, or they are scattered throughout the course? Like
with every module, they will
with
be
every module
assessment.
Okay, got it. And also, like, the previous modules will be still available to everybody who has signed up?
Yes, they will be available. We just are not opening all the content at one go because this is still a paced learning. The exercises and the conversations are designed keeping in mind that there is no information overload, and these are very sensitive areas of practice, and slow and study is the best approach that we have realized.
Yeah, absolutely. And so many of them are working professionals, right? So they will require to pace out their own time throughout the week. So this program, the pace that we have set this entire program helps you, of course, continue with your work as well as side by side, continue learning the modules of the program at as and when the modules are released online.
Yeah, that has been the idea so far, and based on the feedback that we have received so far, this has been working well for all the working professionals to
Yes.
balance updating their knowledge as well as learning a new area of practice and continuing the work that they are doing otherwise also.
Yeah.
So the next question that we get asked most of the time is, will there be any assessment or certification? Yes, there will be an assessment. You are going to be certified as a POSH practitioner and a gender safety, workplace gender safety practitioner. And while there are practice assessments on every module, at the end of 3 months, there is an exhaustive assessment test, which will also be online. It's a case study plus MCQ based assessment, and when you clear it, there is a certification that will be given to you, that will be awarded to you, well earned of course. And this will be couriered to you. The hard copy, laminated copy will be respectfully couriered to the participant's address. We will be collecting all those things. It's a set process that we follow. So yes, there will be an assessment as well as a certification.
So what about if I do not clear the assessment? A lot of people might fear that they have studied it, but they may not be able to clear the assessment. Is that a possibility?
So there are two, I would say chances that are given. But it did not happen because that person did not clear. It just so happened that that person missed the timeline of
Okay.
taking the test. So that has
Right.
happened in the past when one person actually failed to take the exercise on the assessment during the the timeline that was given.
Yeah.
But nobody has failed so far.
Good to know.
Nobody has. All right. So the next question that we generally get asked is, will I be provided with any handouts? Suruchi?
Yeah, so we open the modules online, and once you have completed your entire certification program, after the end of all the modules have been completed, along with your certificate, we will also be providing like a POSH practitioner's handbook, which will be your reference guide, throughout, as and when you face any POSH cases, or you are a part of it as a member, or you are also assisting anybody who has gone through or is going through POSH cases. In that, this handout will be very helpful, and it will be provided at the end along with your certificate. It's a good reference guide, and will cover everything that you have studied so far, or you will be covering in the program.
Yeah, the handout notebook will be couriered together with your certificate. Yes. So this will definitely reach you and will act as a guidebook for your practice activities and as you go about advising other companies on the same. Another common question, will it help me with projects and assignment post completion? So once you complete this program, and as it has happened in the past also, you will become part of our external member empanelment network. At Ungender, we keep receiving a lot of inquiries from across the India on providing the external members for ICC empanelment, professionals who can conduct and execute advisory activities, conduct sensitization and awareness session, or assist and advise companies on case investigations. And you become part of that empanel network, wherein we will be happy and honored to nominate your name as and when any such requirement comes in. So that's the minimum that we can do from our end. And of course, you're free to collaborate with us even post this certification program and talk further on this. We're happy to answer this question further in detail, one-to-one also, depending on what kind of profile you're coming from and what exactly is the area of practice that you want to evolve into further. Both Suruchi and I, or either Suruchi and I, will be available to address this question separately. on how you can actually go about getting assignments post completion of this program.
Yes.
The duration of the program is 3 months. It's there is no cutting short of the program duration. A lot of people have asked us whether, if it is going to be all online, can they have access to this all the content at one go, and then they can give the assessment, and they don't need the doubt clarification sessions or the weekly webinars or any such thing. But this is a strict call that we have taken internally, wherein we know that the subject area is a very sensitive area of practice, and we do enforce as providers of this program that a certain pace needs to be followed as we discuss each and every area or module in the whole program. And we take our time in not just reading through the material, but also discussing about them, allowing not just us, but also you to discuss the nuances of practical applications of all these subject areas. Together with that, we also want to take time to study any other legal judgments or developments which are happening, good practices, best practices which are happening not just in India, across the world, and take time to absorb why these concepts exist, not just in law, but also in the policy frameworks. And as future advisors for companies and their leaders on how to actually go about building a safe and inclusive workplace for all genders, we should take sufficient time in going through the content and learning it and absorbing it as much as well as possible. So the duration stays for 3 months, and after the 3 months, you have another 15 days to complete the assessment. And then in the next 15 days, we take forward the process of sending your certificate and your handbook and other nuances.
Anybody have any questions so far on whatever we have discussed? Happy to take it up.
Yes, so there was this one question wherein somebody asked how much is the course fee. So I have shared the course fee.
Yeah.
How do you register? We'll share the registration link with all of you in your email once the session is over. We will also share the link for the video recording of this the same session that we are having right now. And Mohammed Basha actually asked in which way a man can contribute for feminism at workplace. What a wonderful question.
Yes.
I'm so happy. Both of us are actually, all of us at Ungender are happy that we have had enough men, not just as part of our team or allies, but also men who have taken the same program and are now advising companies on building gender inclusive workplaces. Usually this is a field where people automatically assume that it will be a woman who will walk in the boardroom or meeting rooms and advise, HR or legal on this. And it has been a wonderful journey having men also as part of our student base or learner base. So that is how you can contribute for feminism. I'm not saying doing this course or this program is the only way to go about it. But if your question was on a more larger level, that's a different conversation.
That's a whole webinar overall.
Yes, it's a good topic. I think we should
it's a very good topic. Yeah, but definitely, the law. Once you understand the law further, you also understand a lot of concepts. Certainly sexual harassment and how perception and intention work in this, which all genders should understand. So this is where even male men who want to contribute to feminism at a workplace, they will be enlightened by this, definitely to know.
It is, and it's also good to break the pattern. I mean, in our practice itself, at Ungender, even otherwise also, we have met enough leaders in the workplaces who are the reason why certain practices are being put in place, inclusive practices. I mean, we do interview a lot of feminist allies who are currently working in work, in companies, and taking the decision that okay, this is how the organization needs to become inclusive. There's a lot more than men. There's a lot that men can do.
Lot that men can, yes.
So Those are the only questions that were there. How do you register? We have covered. Done. Okay. So moving forward. Oh, sorry. Yes. So what is
Fees.
the fees and can I pay in installments? So yes, we have shared the fees on the chat platform, and we do understand that while this is an area of practice and this is a professional certification that we are talking about, if ever there's any issue with respect to paying it all at one go, there are EMI and installment options also available. Just let us know how you would like to go about it, and we are happy to provide the payment link. We were asked in the past about scholarships available and whether there is any discount facility. That is something that we have just steered away from. We know as practitioners that this is a professional expertise and professional certification that we are looking at. And the output of it is to actually get on an advisory role with companies, and hence this is not a scholarship. There's no scholarship, and there's also no discount available on this one, unless there are more than one member who are enrolling or becoming part of the program from the same company. Then we have options available, and we'll be happy to share them with you if you can write directly to us. Okay, Mohammed is asking how to build a gender neutral workplace. Mohammed, you're giving this topic for different webinars now. Thank you for asking this. There's one more question, Suruchi. Maybe we can take this. Prerna is asking, is there a focus on colleges and universities in the course or just corporates?
Yeah.
So there is a focus on college and universities, and primarily because not just that they are also workplaces as per the laws, but also because there are different guidelines which were introduced by UGC, and they will be part of the module wherein we will be talking about workplaces and different industries on which these laws are applicable and how they needs to be implemented. So because UGC is the only industry body actually which came up with dedicated guidelines, of course this will be incorporated and will be made part of it. Anything, Suruchi, that you want to add there?
No, I think you've covered it also. Just as one of the modules, where we are offering formats and templates, guidance also, is where we also talk about these UGC guidelines, which Pallavi mentioned, and the other guidelines, whichever have come out from organizations in order to deal with, sexual harassment. So the focus definitely workplace includes all of these places. So wherever the guidelines have come out from separate workplaces, which are taken the form of law or are binding on that workplace, we will be covering those as well for your information, which will be helpful in understanding if you belong to a workplace such as a university or you belong to a normal corporate setup. Then you will be understanding what these guidelines are and how they have been. A lot of times, when we see case laws as well, they come from universities or they come, with the posh law harmoniously read with the guidelines. For instance, the latest law or the latest case law of the Kerala University, Central University of Kerala, there were also guidelines as well as, posh law. So wherever possible, we have meshed these concepts and I have put it into modules so that all the participants in this program can understand a holistic view about how the country deals with this the posh concept overall.
Yes, and also when we talk about corporates is a very small portion of the whole definition in terms of applicability and workplaces under these laws. We will be talking about complex workplaces from different industries. We have mining industry, we have construction sites, we have manufacturing setups, we have solar plants, we have farming and agricultural setup. The module itself on workplaces will be exhaustive enough, because how do you even start understanding sexual harassment and preventing it and gender safety?
Yes.
Before that, we have to understand what is the playing field, what are the fields that we are talking about, and how the same law changes its application, implementation when we move from one industry to another industry. So these are the practical aspects that we have to understand, because as advisors, you will be sitting across the table with leaders of these same industries, and it will be your job to tell them how they should be implementing these laws and fulfill the compliance guidelines and the intent as the law required them to.
Mm.
I am sorry, Mohammed, I'm not answering your question right now, but we'll be very happy to. We will be conducting a webinar on these topics, both the topics that you have said, and we will make sure that we invite you to be part of it. Right now, I'll move on to the next question. Can you speak to the past takers of the program? And we always proudly say that we are more than happy to connect you with individuals who have spent 3 months with us, gone through the whole program, and have now gone on to become POSH practitioners, have started their own organizations, have gotten empaneled with different committees in different companies. So if you need to speak to anybody, just let us know and we'll be happy to connect you with them. And the rest, we'll let them handle your questions on whether the course or whether the program was helpful or not, and how it actually helped them. How do you enroll? It's very simple. There's a registration link. Once you make the payment, we will then be sending across a different form to you to collect the rest of your information. And then we will be sharing how exactly the program will go about in the next 3 months. Our next batch, our new set of enrollment cycle is starting from June 15. The enrollment is on a rolling basis, but it's always good to join in so we all get to know each other as we start a new batch. Any question? Yes, Anita, of course. We have your email address. We will connect you with past participants. In fact, it will be great if we can speak one-to-one so that we can understand your profile, and then we can connect you with similar profile of individuals. It will allow a better perspective on the whole program and its applicability for you. Any other question that anyone has? Please feel free to speak also.
I think they're on mute.
Oh, they're on mute. Okay. Or you can type. Ritu, is it okay if we unmute and people can ask?
Yeah. I'm going to unmute the participants.
Okay. Okay, everyone is unmuted. Hi, Anita. Nice to see you.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to ask you, is there any affiliation that you have, or is this by your organization?
So there's no affiliation. This is by our organization only. We that running an international program that worked for us 5 years ago, and we will continue with that only.
Okay.
Any other question? If not, we will then end this session here today, and we'll be happy to connect one-to-one with everyone as and when so of course, Anita, I'll connect you with the existing practitioners.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks a lot. That will be nice.
Sure, Malvika, we can connect one-to-one. Absolutely. Just send me an email or let us know once this session is done. We'll be happy to connect one-to-one and answer any other further question that you may have. Sure.
Does everyone have the necessary email IDs?
Not sure.
Because if somebody wants to connect with you, Pallavi?
So they can send an email to contact@ungender.in, and we will respond as promptly as we usually do.
Awesome.
Great. So you have our email address. Suruchi, anything else you want to add?
No, I think we've covered everything regarding the program. We will get in touch with everybody who wants to get in touch with us, as well as Anita will get in touch with past participants. I think it's been a pleasure speaking to everybody and also answering your queries, Mohammed. We'll definitely keep these topics in mind for future webinars. We'll get on it right away.
Yeah,
And
these are nice topics actually.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, if I think we can wrap up the sessions if nobody else has any questions.
Yes, I think they have said
Yeah.
they will be sending us emails separately. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Really wonderful having all of you here, and looking forward to connecting with you one-to-one and answering the rest of your queries. Take care. Have a good
Thank you,
evening.
everybody.
And stay safe.